Chapter 65-30. Nanako laughed. Tavanna has a great influence and many fans. No matter where she holds a concert, it is always full. And a considerable number of fans fly over from other countries. It is said that whenever she holds a concert in a country, it can bring hundreds of millions or even billions of dollars to the country's economy. My best friend in Tokyo invited me to watch it a few days ago. But now my mind is on cultivation, so I declined. After that, she looked at Charlie and smiled. You have never been a fan of stars. This time, should be going with your wife, right? Charlie did not hide it and nodded. My wife's best friend is also a fan of this Tavanna. Her friend helped her get tickets for the Tokyo station. So she invited us to watch it together. Nanako smiled and said, come to think of it, I haven't been back to Japan for a long time. I seldom left home for so long before. Then she added, but I don't miss Tokyo. I miss the old house in Kyoto more. Especially when it snows. I'll think of the scene when you came down from the sky and saved me from danger. Charlie asked her, do you plan to go back and have a look in the near future? She thought for a while and said, for the time being, I won't go back. Thanks to you, my father's legs have recovered as before. He has fallen in love with life in Oris Hill now. Few people here know him, so he can live a normal life like a normal person. Going out every morning to exercise with the local elderly has become his unshakable compulsory course. Tanaka-san has the same feeling. If they go back, they will have to pretend to be disabled, which is somewhat troublesome. My father now regards Oris Hill as his second hometown. He mentioned to me a few days ago that he plans to find a feng shui treasure land with mountains and water here, and rebuild a house according to the scale of the old house in Kyoto, and live here in the future. Charlie also understands Ito Takehiko's decision. He is also a big man in Japan. Although he has handed over the family to Ito Nanako to manage and has retreated to the second line. The boss is still a boss after all. Just like the two famous little brothers in China. Everyone knows them in the Chinese world. For such people, it is very unlikely to live an ordinary life in their own country. They only have the opportunity in a foreign country. Oris Hill is a good choice. In fact, in Charlie's view, Oris Hill's humanistic landscape is not worse than Kyoto. And its historical heritage is infinitely stronger. The biggest regret is that this city with a long history was destroyed during the Japanese invasion of China and experienced a huge catastrophe. But Nanako's father carried a broad mind. At this moment, Charlie suddenly remembered that Nanako had just asked him whether he was going to watch a game or a concert. So he asked curiously, Nanako, you just asked me if I was going to the competition. Are there any important events in Tokyo? Nanako said, it's the Global College Sonda competition where you and I met. This year's competition is hosted by Tokyo. Then, she said, by the way, Aoshue has also signed up for the competition this time. She called me a few days ago and asked me why I didn't participate. I told her that I had given up Sonda. I also asked her if she had told you about the competition. But she said that her father told her that you have been very busy recently. So she felt embarrassed to call you. Charlie really had no idea about the Sonda competition. He hadn't contacted Aoshue for some time. And Shingang didn't contact him much either. With the help of JX Pharmaceutical, his medicinal materials business was booming. He had more contact with Liang every day, and less contact with himself. So he knew nothing about Aoshue going to Tokyo to play the competition. Charlie asked Nanako, how is Aoshue's schedule arranged? Nanako said, the competition seems to have started for several days. The venue is in Tokyo Buden. If I remember correctly, the final will be tomorrow night. Charlie asked again, did Aoshue make it to the final? Yes. Nanako smiled and said, it was easy for her to make it to the final. However, I heard that there is a very powerful American player this year, who is a dark horse, but I don't know much about the details. If nothing unexpected happens, Aoshue should meet her in the final. Charlie nodded and said, I will fly to Tokyo at noon tomorrow and go to watch her game in person then.